where is God? Why is there so much evil in this world? Why is there suffering? What happens to us when we die? Where do we go when we die? Oh, we die. And I'm talking to you, you're listening to me. This afternoon will turn to dust. Everything will turn to dust. What's the point of all of this? What's the meaning of all of this? God created the world, then who created evil? These are my childhood questions. These are my childhood questions. I was surrounded by them. And that's how I started reading at an early age Dhammapada, Bhagavad Gita, Quran, the Bible, and so forth, to find some answers to all of this. I was not interested in God. I have no interest in religion. I have interest in what do people put their beliefs into. What is that people put their faith into? Something that holds them, something that keeps them from slipping into the void. And that's how was my first teaching assignment when I started teaching interreligious studies, a 2-year diploma course at an archdiocesan institution, which was an optional course, so people who pursued their BA, BCom, BSc, and they would come and sit for these lectures. And that is where I found my first pupil to teach them and to talk to them about faith, the lack of faith, and the everything in between. Moving from interreligious studies to now absolutely consumed into media studies, I teach papers like gender and culture, film analysis, contemporary sociology. Teaching? I think I was born for it. When I was about 4 years old, I knew I wanted to be a teacher. I would come home, I would imitate my school teachers, I would pretend teaching to empty classrooms, empty corridors, empty rooms. And that, I think teaching was something that came very naturally to me. Theater. Theater was a fateful, fortunate accident that paralyzed me forever with its magic of time change, a magic of another reality, another world, the possibility of living another life. And that was theater. But as a child, teenage years, I would be watching plays and films, attending musical concerts every third day, every third or fourth day. But you couldn't afford so many of them. So I picked up a part-time job so that I could fetch my tickets to attend these concerts, these plays, these films. Food is necessary for the body. Art, theater, cinema, music, the soul needs. And that is how you take care of your soul. And it's very, very necessary. I think very necessary. As much food is necessary for the body. And that's how began the journey of watching these plays, exploring these plays, and so forth. But I think I was fortunate to see wonderful plays, wonderful musical concerts. But I felt there is something I want to say, I want to express, something that I want to see on stage. Nothing grand, but stories about everyday life, stories about everyday existence, maybe narratives that I want to speak about. And that's when I wrote my first play. I called up my few friends, would you like to act in it? They very happily agreed to it. And we staged it at the Ravindra Natya Mandir. It's been more than a decade now, to a houseful audience. Then there was no looking back. But I don't say my theatre journey began a decade ago. I think it began 2 decades ago when I was watching plays. Watching plays itself was an institution. Now, the questions about God, about suffering, about all of these, what happened to these questions? My questions gradually changed. I got interested in new questions. And another new question was, which recurs in my plays, is communication. Are words enough? Are words enough? I'm talking to you, you're listening to me. Are you understanding me? I don't think so. Words are not enough. Very often we say something, but the opposite person interprets it totally differently. And then you go on a monologue explaining, but I intended to say this, but I meant to say this, but you use words, and still words are not enough. Are words enough to say what you want to say? There are times where I just want to say so much, and the words come up to the throat, and they get stuck into the throat. And you just look at the person, and there is silence. This silence, I started exploring in plays. Let's write plays with silences. Because there are so many things in the world which you cannot speak, and words are not enough. And that began the journey of writing plays with silences, which is an inability of an actor, of a writer, to articulate a feeling into words. And I think with silence, and I came to explore a new question, which is happiness. We all seek happiness. We all wish for happiness, a quest for happiness. And then I was like, are we really born to be happy? Do we need happiness? Or is happiness a sort of a construction? Maybe not. I think we are meant to be as it is. We are meant to grow. We are meant to live. Life is not about winning or losing. Life is about living, to endure, to be there. You might not be the spectrum of winning or losing, but to be there, to endure. And that is another question I started exploring in my plays. Of course, despite all of this, everything will turn to dust. The inevitability of everything coming to an end. So how do we make meaning of our lives? You create the meaning. You create your own meaning. And I think theater was my accessibility to create meaning. Theater became a meaning-making exercise for me. And I don't think it only affected me. It affects the people I work with, my actors and production team, and the people who come to watch the plays. Like one incident I remember is 5 years ago, we staged this play called Hope, Harsha, and Books. Yeah, it sounds absurd, but absurdity is what I do. So Hope, Harsha, and Books, we staged it at the National Gallery of Modern Art about 5 years ago. And it's a story about many things, but one of the aspects about the play was the loss of first love by an innocent girl and what she goes through. And the girl growing up in Estonia, a country that I don't think we speak about. The play was wonderful, people were touched, we all were influenced by it, blah, blah, blah. And time went by. 4 years later, I received a message from an unknown number on my WhatsApp. It's a picture. And then a message follows after that saying, I'm living in Estonia. This was the same girl who played the character in my play of a girl in Estonia. 4 years later, I don't know how, she ended up deciding that she wants to live in Estonia. I don't know what the play did to her. But the play must have done something. Moving further, my questions were changing. I was becoming more interested in everyday life, in everyday existence, in everyday beauty, and the everyday sublime experiences. And every day we are played with the problem of choice. The problem of choice. We all believe that we are free. We are free to make choices. No, you're condemned to choose. I am condemned to choose. There are two options. They are not good and bad. They are just two options which are good. Now you have to make a choice. Life is not so easy about good and bad choice. If that was, we all would be in cloud nine. No, it's about 2 good choices and 2 bad choices. Now choose one bad choice. Now choose one good choice. 5 bad choices, make a bad choice. 6 good choices, make a choice. Somebody tells you, does somebody give an option to not make a choice? If you don't have an option to not make a choice, which means you're condemned to choose, you're not free. Freedom is limited. And therefore, we're bound to make choice. So from 5 bad options, I'm going to choose one bad option. And whatever you choose, you're bound to break heart of somebody. The question is, whose heart are you going to break? Right? So with my theatre company, it's been like 10 years now, I'm able to grapple with these plays, with these themes, which I think it provides us to a window to fly into an alternate world where we talk about these experiences. Where do all these ideas come from? I have my own lovers, and I'm going to name some of them, which is Simone de Beauvoir, Soren Kierkegaard, Andrei Tarkovsky, Ingmar Bergman, Rumi, Hafiz, and Nareshwar Zanawai. Poetry and philosophy, I think, helps me live my life and able to create this existence out of paradoxes. Also, like when I talk about Andrei Tarkovsky, I think he's one man who has a life-changing impact on me, a man who made films in Soviet Russia, made only 7 films, but I think it has a life-changing impact on me, on a middle-class boy in Mumbai. I wrote the play Hope, a Martian Book, and a girl decides to end up living in Estonia from Mumbai. These are small things, but they make massive changes. And I'm not comfortable with calling theatre or art a method for healing or therapy. I am not doing it because it is healing me. No. Because if the moment you say that, there is a utilitarian perspective. You're doing it because it is healing you. So what it doesn't heal you, will you still do it? Yes. It's a mechanic. It's a way to make meaning in a meaningless world. It's a way to make meaning into a world which is filled with void and you don't want to slip into it. So you create your own meanings. To do that, you can't continue living a secure life. I never picked up a full-time teaching job because I didn't want it to be numbed with administrative responsibilities and so that I could continue my theatre work too. Also, a full-time job, a teaching job is a wonderful security. It's a wonderful solid position and an income. I don't deny we need financial autonomy. Of course we need financial autonomy, but life needs something else too. There's something else too that you need. And going the Nietzschean way, living a safe and a secure life is dangerous. Living a safe and a secure life is dangerous because if you live a safe and a secure life, which means you are not allowing yourself to live the untrodden path, the untrodden experience, which you could live, but you're so busy living a secure life that we don't want to experience anything else. And therefore, we are devoiding ourselves of multiple experiences into our life. So unlived life is something. Oh, yeah, that's the reason I continued doing part-time teaching. And then philosophy, performing arts are a spectrum of this side and that side. I wanted to bring them together, and that's why 4 years ago, I started my own center called St. Andrew's Center for Philosophy and Performing Arts, because with both of them, I think it's a stunning combination, which you don't think of. And it's difficult to bring them together. But I think that becomes like a life-altering experience to put. I've always thought about academia and performing arts, not isolated, but putting them together. Where will all this lead? I don't know, and I don't want to know. I do have a destination? No. I'm just very happy with this journey. Just with the journey. Like Picasso puts it, if you want to draw something, you will not know unless you begin drawing. So you need to begin drawing. You will not know otherwise. And what do I have to offer to the world? Nothing. Nothing. just my own vulnerability. Yes. I don't want to be strong. My theater is not strong. It is weak. And I love this weakness. Because whatever is strong, it's solid, it's dead, it breaks. Whatever is weak, it makes its way, and then it is resilient, and it's able to find its way, like a water that flows through crevices and rocks, or like a flower that blooms, providing agile souls a freshness of being. And therefore, weakness is something I cherish, I enjoy it, rather than being strong. If I was strong, I'd be strong and then broken in my head. So, theater, I think, helps me accept these paradoxes of life with grace and ease. You don't struggle with accepting these paradoxes. It's all right to be weak. It's all right to be agile. It's all right to lose something in life. It's all right your faith is losing you. It's all right to be in despair. It's all right to be sad. It's all right. Don't struggle with it. It's all right. It's all right. Just be with it. Just be with it. Just endure it. And I think these are incidents of your life which makes me what I am. If I would have experienced all this, I don't think I would be here talking to you all. So I like this theater, which provides a cathartic vocabulary. It is so sublime, so penetrative, and that leads and provides us with an acceptance, with an act of empathy. Who am I? Who are we? Not a being. It's a process. I think theater helps you to create, destroy, regenerate, transform. You are transforming yourself time and again. And it's a process of becoming, but there is no being. Becoming. I enjoy this becoming. My stories may be personal, but I don't believe anymore anything is personal. Because whatever is personal, it's already felt by somebody else. And when these people connect to what you want to say, it reverberates in the human cosmos. It's not your story, everyone's story. Of course, we have personal is political, personal is social, and that's what. It's no more personal. Everything that you have felt, somebody else too has. And I think my theater helps people to connect to this personal story. So whatever you know, it's not insignificant. Every small story, every narrative matters. To conclude, in a Tagorean sense, I would say that, coming to my first question, life after death. If there is life after death, and if there is salvation, if there is moksha, I don't want it. I'm happy to come back once again as a human being and feel the vulnerability of life, its agileness, its fragileness, to experience art, its beauty, and its sublimity. That's what I would say. Thank you.